Hey YouTube, in the video this morning, we talked about Carbink and Poliwrath, how they made their way into the top 10 Great League and how to deal with them. And this video, we are going to talk about Xerneas. Now, Zygarde is at number 1. No one has shards. Like, I haven't seen a route. You need a bunch of, I think, shards, I think they're called, or something to evolve it. And then you need the Excel. I don't want to say no one's going to have it, but no one's going to have it, right? So I'm not too worried about that. What I am worried about is Xerneas, because Geomancy is the new fast move on this thing, and with that fast move and having the moveset of Moonblast and close combat will make this Pokemon much better. So before we even do that, let's just, because people are like, yeah, why wouldn't you just use I already have a I don't, but Zacian has close combat wild charge. Why wouldn't you use that? So let's actually just first look at level 50 Master League, just so we can look at some stats here between these two, just so you can get an idea. I actually don't know what the stats are, but they are actually very similar. So where your attack is almost the same, 222.6 versus 226, and then basically the inverse, right? So lower defense but way higher stamina on Xerneas, and then higher defense but lower stamina on Zacian. And if you want your Pokemon to last longer, you always, in my opinion, I always have the higher stamina seem to be the real kicker when it comes to the Pokemon in sort of Great League and Ultra League. I always find that the stamina is better for them lasting longer, so that is probably why Xerneas is higher. Plus Moonblast is a much better move than Close Combat, and I'm guessing this Geomancy, this new move, is a better, faster charging move than Snarl, or actually maybe a Snarl clone. I'm not quite sure on that, but either way, it is now number 4 in the the Master League. I expect to see more of it because it has some hard answers, but it deals with a lot of the meta that you will see. So let's just start with its strengths. 23-11 record is great. So obviously, let's just start with the obvious. Fairies against dragons or darks, you're going to have a good time, right? So you're going to beat all your dragons and all your darks. That's not surprising. What makes it so deadly and what made Zacian so deadly is that it can also deal with steals and stuff that takes a super effective from fighting, because you have the close combat, right? So Excadrill, Mamoswine, Snorlax, the rest of these can be dealt with Fairy, and that is a dragon. So just taking out a couple steals there. Where is Zacian? Or it's not Zacian, Dialga, right there. Resisting the Dragon Breath. Again, you do take super effective from Iron Head, but it looks like that between the two, you can just outpace this. Do you outpace it with just going straight close combat. Going straight close combat, you will beat the Zacian, Dialga, but it looks like you let the first one go because you can live it, and then these Dragon Breaths are resisted, and then you shield up the second one because once you lower your attack times 4 here, or defense times 4, you're going to get destroyed. So that makes sense. That's why you do that in that matchup. So that's its strengths. Where is weaknesses? So even in these matchups, like Mewtwo, Landorus, these are still losses, but they're not that bad losses. I think you should probably just get outpaced by the Side Strike versus the Moonblast. Yeah, you live one Moonblast, only at 60 damage, and then your Side Strike just outpaces, which makes sense. It's these other ones that are going to be the bigger ones for Great League. And I'm not even going to, like Swampert, Ursaluna, or whatever, like your losses. So 2 of your 11 losses are Pokemon that you're never going to see anyways, right? So what you do have the potential of seeing are these 4. Kyogre, Metagross, Groudon, and Ho-Oh. Groudon has obviously become huge because of Precipice Blades. They just made that move super broken, so everyone's using that. And Ho-Oh is a great answer to all your fairies now and Groudon, right? And you can still Brave Bird a Kyogre. Plus you do okay against steals, depending on whether they have Rock Slide or not. And then Metagross, obviously Metagross has been everywhere too, and Metagross is not only everywhere, it's one that's very accessible, right? If you've been playing this game for a while, having a level 50 Metagross is probably quite easy. and it deals with your fairies, plus it deals great in every sort of neutral matchup, right? Earthquake for the steals, Meteor Mash just hits everything except water, super strong. And then Kyogre, just fast move damage with Waterfall Surf is just going to outpace your Moonblast. So that's this Pokemon. I expect it to be used. What I wouldn't, so I see this two ways. I see this Pokemon being used on the lead, where you just have, as long as you don't see one of these Pokemon, you stay in with anything, right? Ho-Ho, everything is resisted, so you have to leave. Groudon, you can probably still throw a move like a close combat and then dip. Metagross, you probably have to bail right away. And Kyogre, if you want to stay and throw a Moonblast, I think you can. Otherwise, you're probably gonna have to bail because these surfs come pretty quick, and they do 50% damage, and the waterfalls add up too, and it does like 50%. So maybe you probably want to get out of that one right away. But outside of that, so you can lead it, and it'll just be great here. Not that it can't be used at a safe swap, because it can. The problem is if you get into a safe swap against Ho-Ho, everything is resisted, and that thing is just going to farm up and destroy you. Again, Groudon is getting hit with a Groudon or Metagross. Like, you can still get a close combat off here, but they're pretty hard losses. And that is why Zacian is much better, because it has a wider range of moves between Fairy, Fighting, and Wild Charge to cover some of these Pokemon, right? So I think what you probably will see also from people is a double Fairy lineup, right? Come in with Zacian, be able to throw Wild Charges or whatever move, 2 moves, probably grab a shield. I would probably use something to wall Metagross and Ho-Ho. So Kyogre, some sort of water Pokemon, Gyarados. I would use that as my lead. So lead Kyogre, lead Gyarados, safe swap Zacian, try and pull out a Metagross or Groudon or Ho-Ho, come back in, punish it with Kyogre or thing, and then let Xerneas roam free in the back. You can also probably do, like I said, this could also probably work as a closer if you want a balanced team, right? So you cover this weakness in the front with something. What can beat all these Pokemon? Again, I think like some sort of water is probably your best. Like Kyogre can beat all these 3, plus then just mirror match, run it with Thunder, right? So Kyogre lead, safe swap. What are the best safe swaps in... What are the best safe swaps in Master League? Kyurem, like Giratina. Yeah, Giratina Alter is not a bad one. Mewtwo. Mewtwo can get really walled. Oh, Lugia. Lugia is a great safe swap, right? So Lugia, even Groudon now with Precipice Blade is a decent safe swap. So basically, I don't like Mewtwo because Mewtwo can just, with Shadow Ball, you can just get walled by the darks. So I don't love Mewtwo as a safe swap. Giratina is fine, spammy. Lugia is good, tanky, and spammy, and Aero Blast hits everything super hard. And Precipice Blade with Groudon is still dominant too. So realistically, these 3, or I've seen Meloetta too, but that's pretty rough against Steels. Or Gyarados, I think. So, well, then you wouldn't want to be double water. So I think Mewtwo, Giratina, Mewtwo with not Shadow Ball, Mewtwo with like Ice Beam or Thunder or something to cover the darks. Giratina, Mewtwo, Lugia, Groudon, safe swap, and then Xerneas is on back to roam free and just nuke stuff. So I think you will see a lot more of it. I know it was just out at GoFest Global, so I know some people have it. Plus, it's just a legacy move, right? And it's not like this is a new Pokemon. Xerneas has been around. People probably have XLs and candies already for it, and if they have Elite Fast TMs just sitting there, like a lot of us do, it's not bad to just TM that away and get it in there. So I would not be surprised if you see a lot more Xerneas. Again, your answers are Ho, Kyogre, Groudon, and Metagross. And Mewtwo does okay as well, just with Side Strike spam. That's it. So I won't do top teams because it's tough for me to do top teams as someone who does not play Open Master League, because I do not have any of these XL Pokemon. So we're just going to talk about that. If you do have XL Pokemon, that's how I would adjust. That's what I think you're going to see. I can still understand what the meta is because it's only like 10 Pokemon, right? You see, I'm not worried about that. Kyurem's really interesting that Kyurem has already, oh, that's a switch. Never mind. Like the 10, 15 Pokemon that you see Again, ignoring Zygarde. Typical one that you see all the time are Groudon, Giratina, not even Giratina. Giratina Origin, actually more than Altered, quite honestly. Xerneas, Dragonite, Mewtwo, Kyurem. I think some people see Kyurem. Meloetta, again, not so much. You need all these XLs. Lugia is a safe swap. Florges or Zacian is your main one. Mewtwo, yeah, Zekrom. Rayquaza, I think Rayquaza is still pretty Dragon Ascent. It's still pretty glossy, so I don't maybe see some of them. But Giratina Origin for sure. Yveltal, yes. Mamoswine, yeah. Palkia, Dialga. Ho-Ho. And then where is your Excadrill? Pretty low, eh? But yeah, Snorlax has a safe swap too. But that's basically your like 20, 10, 15, 20 that you see everywhere. So that is it. Good luck if you're playing this league. All the leagues are on, which is nice. Great League, Ultra League, and Master League. And reminder that as of Friday, Saturday, you are allowed to do 10 sets per day. So get those extra sets in, get that extra dust, get that push to Legend. That's it. So we will probably do Great League and Ultra League on this channel. So stay tuned for that. And I will see you guys in the next one.